like using the word unbelievable, but I'll use it. Ready to rock and roll in Philadelphia. Final home game for the Temple Owls, and away we go. They start all their seniors, as is customary for Fran Dunphy's bunch. So Mike Robbins, 22 in white, one of the walk-ons for this team, and Mark Williams, 10 in white, a senior from Cleveland. Neither has started much in their career. Oh, they lob it up to Robbins right away. And how about that? You couldn't draw that up any better. The lob pass, the touch pass, the three.
That's a little senior X and O, if you will.
I love it. Well, Tulane on the season, 5-22. But if nothing else, Mark, this team with Reynolds and with Rayona Embo wearing 3 in black, reigning American Conference Rookie of the Week, they can score.
That first play was beautiful execution. I really thought the play was designed for Robbins to catch and flush. And then he decided to find a fellow senior.
That's cool. Melvin Frazier off the mark from 3, and rebound chased down by Malik Morgan, the transfer from LSU.
You know what's odd about that Williams 3-ball? He had a good look at a 3 the other night against UCF late in that game.
Cam Reynolds unable to get a friendly roll, but he'll head to the line for 2.
Well, we talked about this very first play that Temple runs. This is an up screen on the weak side. There's the up screen, but notice the catch and pass and kick out by Robbins to Williams, senior to senior. Could you script it any better? Kudos to Fran Dunphy and the staff.
Nicely done. Nicely done. That's a cool memory. Cam Reynolds at the line. We mentioned what this program could do in terms of scoring. I love that they're able to get the Temple seniors in for senior day. Fran Dunphy, he does that every year, as is customary. And Mike Robbins, former walk-on with this team, only his 15th appearance all season. An accomplished painter. I'll tell you more about that as we go along, Mark, but has tremendous future away from the court as well.
Not the way you want to start. Cam Reynolds, 78% at the line, goes 0 for 2.
Mark Williams, now 1 for 2 from 3.
Well, remember, Temple shoots more 3 balls than anybody else in this conference. 27 a game.
Ryan Smith took steps first, called for the travel. Mike Dunleavy Sr. had a chance to chat with him yesterday. And this team, we know that they have a lot of parts and pieces, and they feel good about certain things, but it's the lapses that they just need to cut down on. Remember this Tulane program, too. They won a couple games at the American Tournament last year, surprising folks in Orlando.
Oh, my goodness. Mike Robbins, senior night. I love it.
First 5 points from 2 players that don't get a lot of action. Keep him in. Ona Embo, tough take, and Robbins caught a piece of it.
Mike Robbins, as Alex said, playing in just his 15th game. How about the crossover, up and under, off the window on the wrong side? This is a big-time move. Fun stuff.
And an ode to the keeping him in the game because he's having fun. He picks up his 2nd foul, and Fran Dunphy is not signaling anyone on that Temple bench to stand up and replace him.
Do you think Mike Robbins, when Fran Dunphy takes him out, is going to look down and go, Coach, come on. We've got 5. I'm responsible for all 5.
Not to be, I wonder if the next play here is for Dingle, wearing 4 in white, who as the season has gone along, and I know you've put this together, you kind of put this under the radar team. And Dingle, especially considering where Temple is right now in the standings, as an Angionia misses from 3. Rebound chased down by Robbins. What an afternoon already. There he is again.
I love the fact that everybody on the Temple bench is up.
Onambo gets fouled.
Well, it's one thing to get your opportunity to start in the game. It's another to cash in. Robbins again, just a lot of want to. After the miss, chases it down, and then that hang time off the window. First he got the offensive rebound, then the putback. Robbins is responsible for all 7 of the Owl points.
I love it. Going back to the point, though, about this Temple team and under-the-radar players, guy who set him up on that play, Daniel Dingle.
Right.
Averaging 12 points per game and kind of under the radar in terms of productivity, but he's been a key part of this Temple group this year.
Yeah, he's on my first team under the radar team. The captain of that team, of course, is Ben Moore from SMU, who does a little bit of everything.
They're playing in a critical game today. As Shiz Alston puts in the mid-range J and a 9-4 lead for Temple.
And we're expecting a lot of points today as the unforced turnover. Both of these teams play offense significantly better than they play defense.
Yeah. Especially in the second half of games. I mean, we're off to a frenetic start to begin here, but we talked about in our open where Temple struggled, and yes, down the stretch in the final minute or two they've struggled, but the second half of games, their field goal percentage allowed is somewhere hovering in the mid-50s the last 2 weeks or so.
Don't you have to get Robbins a 3-ball?
In theory. It's Williams. And he's 2 of 3 from deep.
Yeah, just 21% on the year, has had a very uneven shooting season.
Reynolds baseline, pulls it off the front of the rim, didn't really finish off the layup. Williams slings it underneath, and it's Gionia fading away.
That's something that Fran Dunphy wants to see more of from Gionia. Doing other things to impact the game other than his three-point shooting.
Maybe he broke out of that season-long slump on Wednesday. His Temple has run away to a 14-4 start. 6 of 8 from the field. Temple, or rather Tulane, is yet to hit a field goal. 3 to shoot. Moving in, it's Ona Embo. Never drew iron. Shot clock violation.
Alex, it's senior night here in Temple.
Today is your day. Texas Tech, Vandy, K-State, all among Lenardi's first 4 out.
Do you know why in our next game, Oklahoma State, the number 6 is so prevalent?
Why?
Because Oklahoma State started Big 10, Big 12 play 0-6, and now they're a number 6 seed. And how about Robbins again? He's got to play. He's got to play all 40 minutes.
You know, talking with Fran Dunphy about this yesterday, his philosophy on this, because we knew he was going to put his seniors into the game, his philosophy on this is, hey, just don't do anything to help us lose the game. You can, we'll give you the reins here, but don't do anything to make us lose the game. And there's no reason at this point, as a travel is committed here by Mark Williams, the first mistake of the day.
Well, no big surprise that Mike Robbins knocks down a 3-ball. He's 3 for 8 on the year, so he's comfortable doing that. The extra pass, the drift to the corner by Robbins, and he knocks it down. And my goodness, what a start for the Owls. Maybe this is what the doctor ordered for this team, a little confidence boost.
And they're locked out, unfortunately for them, of that first round as Tulane puts in their first field goal of the day.
You see a different way that Tulane can utilize their leading scorer, Cam Reynolds.
But this Temple team is frozen out of the first round bye. Can't get that anymore, so they're just playing for seeding at this point.
I think they're playing for momentum.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe more important.
Tulane with the rebound, much needed, trying to stem the bleeding here. An 11-point lead for the Temple Owls.
I don't know when Mike Robbins is coming out of the game, but he's going to get a standing ovation.
He should.
I promise you.
Absolutely. Ryan Smith turns and fires. Well done. We've seen that sweeper in action plenty of times this year.
The old school sweeper, a Ryan Smith special, if you will.
Should be noted for Mike Robbins, entering this season had only 18 career minutes played. Now that's moved up a bit this year. But only 28 career points before today. He only has 7.
It's a tough step back off 1 foot by Dingle.
Malik Morgan too strong from 3. Rebound for Dingle.
See, this is the value of a Daniel Dingle, though. He can bring the ball up. He can initiate your offense.
It's a tough catch for an Echionia in traffic, but using that 6'10" frame going up above everybody else. Oh, that Hembo rejected on the other end. And Echionia, high-flying shot block.
Why not get back in on the play defensively? In Echionia, the off defender. That looked like a kill in a volleyball game. Like they set the outside. He got all of that. How about this?
Here's the standing O. Third foul for Mike Robbins. That's enough for Fran Dunphy. Okay, 3 fouls. Shouldn't check that. No foul on the play. Still on 2. As here's Frazier coming in to score for Tulane.
Difficult finish in traffic. Frazier's been dynamite lately for the Green Wave, averaging 23 in his last two games.
Quentin Rose into the game for Temple, the freshman, who was inserted into the starting lineup a couple of weeks ago for Temple. Rose and Damian Moore, the prior 3 games. Turnover in the low block. Tulane out of the run. Numbers arriving. Reynolds takes it himself. And the runner goes for the redshirt junior from Texas.
Well, now that Tulane has weathered the Mike Robbins storm, perhaps they can get in the flow of the game.
Eagle didn't catch that cleanly from an Echionia. At the reset with a Flackby touch pass to the corner. Quentin Rose and another turnover, another walk.
After the turnover, watch this finish by Cam Reynolds. Little team defense on one end, and then watch Reynolds, the left-hander, with the little mini Euro step, finish right at the rim. That's way too easy. One of the things that has plagued both of these teams at times has been too many unforced turnovers.
Nice save on the baseline all the way out to Frazier. And a new 30 for Tulane. Tulane has yet to beat a team this year in conference play not named USF.
But this is a team that went. There's a great anticipation by an Echionia. Bad path.
This Tulane team, though, has the capability. Tricky matchup
to his team in terms of some positive feedback. He said, hey, guys, defensively, we've gotten 6 stops in a row. Now we have to convert on the offensive end. And offensively, he talked to his team about posting up. He wants to run the offense right now through block-to-block post-ups.
Well, they've turned defense into offense. 8-0 run for Tulane. The last 2 minutes and change. Cam Reynolds off the curl. Short from 3. The rebound popped out to Quincy Rose.
Yeah, Cam Reynolds is a good shooter. 38% from beyond the arc. But you must have better balance. I think we see at times, so many times, Alex, as we watch Temple all year, they have really missed Josh Brown.
Oh, yeah.
They really don't have a true point guard.
Brown tore his ACL last spring, tried to come back, was just in too much pain as an Echionia. The Rainbow 3 at the top of the backboard. Shot clock never reset. Austin hits with the buzzer.
Isn't that the old throw it off the top of the backboard play?
That's in your playbook, right?
Knock down the 3 with the shot clock dwindling.
Is that what you had at Purdue?
Absolutely, man. We had no 3-point shot.
That's what got you to the Final Four.
No, Joe Barry Carroll got us to the Final Four.
Alvin Frazier looking for the answer. Tapped out for Quincy Rose, waiting for support to arrive. And Echionia. Boy, he hasn't looked in rhythm today. I thought after all the struggles he had shooting the ball this season, only 35% for the field during conference play. Maybe he would break out of that after a 17-point performance on Wednesday. That thought looked pretty good. He had 5 trays in the game, but a couple of really bad shots to start this one.
Well, he had his foot just over the 3-point line, and we've talked about this. You've got to have court awareness in terms of your shot selection. And That long 2-point field goal, any coach can live with that defensively.
Because of his size, 6'10", 220 pounds, when his jump shot is working, he's hard to guard. Malik Morgan tried to lean in and sell the foul call. Got called for the turnover first. Tulane's fourth.
Well, after both teams started the game so well offensively, we've kind of gotten bogged down in mistakes and turnovers.
Say what, 20 points through 10 minutes, though? That's not bad.
Can we start talking about Duke and Carolina already next week?
Believe me, we'll be talking a lot about it all week long. That's in the rematch of that game. I'm curious to see part two. Frazier, a nice up and under move in midair. We'll head to the line.
Another miscue by the Owls leads to a Tulane run out. Fran Dunphy confused about what his team is trying to accomplish offensively, especially because these turnovers, Alex, are coming early in possessions. It's not like they're forcing the issue.
The free throw line has been a struggle for Tulane to start the game. Now 4 of 7.
And that's a quiz in itself, because this is the 4th best free throw shooting team in the American in league play, better than 71%.
3 guys on this team are in the top 10 in the league in free throw percentage. Frazier empty on the trip.
Well, again, you miss 2 free throws, it's no different than a turnover.
Tulane already has 4 than the conventional. Top step, Ernest to Flackby, turned it over. 6th for Temple. Frazier on the run for Tulane. Reynolds in rhythm. Cam Reynolds, we mentioned at the top of our show, averaging 17 points per game. Literally, Mike Dunleavy Sr. didn't look at a single number last year when he was coming off the bench. He said, I think you've got the ability to shoot, and he's put him in situations to do so.
I think Reynolds has gotten very comfortable in the spotlight of being his team's go-to guy.
Williams off the drive, dished it late for a Flackby. Got fouled in the semicircle. That's a late foul with 2 on the timer.
So many times in transition, just trail the play. Cameron Reynolds squares up, knocks down the 3 ball, but his balance was really good there.
So Flackby at the stripe, sophomore from Ghana. And apparently free throws are contagious here. Samus Reyes comes in for Tulane. Sophomore from Chile. He went to high school in Broward County, Florida. And Flackby, another one of these guys that has had a bit of an uneven year for Temple. Battle for the loose ball, the free throw miss, and it's a foul going against Temple. Quentin Rose picks up the foul. Again, 7th foul for Tulane, so that puts Temple, so that puts Tulane in the bonus.
Too many bad fouls early gets you to the bonus, and if you're Tulane, this is what you want. Even though Reyes is not the guy you want at the free throw line, he's 6 for 22 on the season. That's 27%.
You saw Mike Dunleavy chatting with Colin Slater, the freshman who's about to come in. They miss on the front end of the 1-and-1. Free throw troubles continue for Tulane. Quentin Rose off the crossover, left Dingle wide open to bury the 3. Shooting 40% from distance in league play.
Boy, such a good job by Dingle to move without the basketball, even in transition.
That's already 5 triples for Temple to begin the game.
That last possession in transition. Look at the top of your screen, Alex. Notice Dingle. He keeps drifting, and finally Rose sees him. Again, you must get to the point where your teammate is able to find you, see you. You just can't stand in one spot. Excellent job by Dingle.
Reynolds a step back 3. That was halfway down. Rebound chased down by Mark Williams. Temple gone off to as much as an 11-point lead to begin the game. Quentin Rose, a three. Would have been the 6th for Temple to begin the game. I should say it was a 13-point lead. Oh! Wow! Quentin Rose, the shot block. It left a wide open three for Kane Harris off the loose ball, but that's 2 spectacular swats to begin the game for the Owls.
We opened this show talking about some years the ball doesn't bounce your way. Isn't that an illustration for Temple?
Perfect illustration. Mark Williams with the mid-range jumper. And Temple with 25 points through the first 12 minutes and change. Already 8 points for Williams. Kane Harris, that was way off. Dingle the easy board. Boxing out on Reynolds. Austin may lead the team in minutes played, but Dingle's right behind. Only 19 fewer minutes all season. It is Dingle again. Too strong from 3. And a foul on Quentin Rose reaching in. A bit lazy looking for the box out. That'll send Tulane to the line when we come back. We will talk in.
Joe Lunardi had them as the very first team out. That win at Oklahoma, remember, if they can get that, that's bonus points. Don't be surprised if Kansas State can win that. They'll swap spots with Illinois State.
Yeah, Lunardi even talked to us about it. He said if they win that game, they are in. And remember, Joe Lunardi's bracketology is always a current snapshot of the field. It is not predictive in nature, so keep that in mind.
And that snapshot changes every hour.
Yes.
From now until Selection Sunday.
That's right, because we got Texas Tech, Oklahoma State coming up. Texas Tech among the next 4 out.
And all you have to do is look at Joe Lunardi's bags under his eyes this time of year. He's up late at night, every night.
Well, that's because we lock him in the bracket bunker and he can't get a sunlight. Mike Robbins back in the game. 2 fouls for Temple, the walk-on senior. And a 3 for Shiz Alston off the mark. Cam Reynolds secures the rebound. Colin Slater in the game for Tulane. Their freshman, one of the very first commits under the Mike Dunleavy regime. Line bounce pass, Blake Paul's first touch. Looking back inside, Ryan Smith off the mark. Tap out lands to Alani Moore. By percentage, Moore is Temple's best 3-point shooter. Keep an eye on him top of your screen. Alston will crossover, step back.
You know, even though that was an individual move by Alston, it came out of the flow and the spacing of the offense. That's an acceptable step-back jumper.
Blake Paul. They are trying to develop into an inside presence. This Tulane team will get some support with their recruiting class coming in next year, but Paul is going to have to be a large part of it.
Well, they have a multitude of guys that they can post up inside, whether you're talking about Paul or Ryan Smith. They'll even post up Reynolds and Malik Morgan at times.
Tulane, a group that we know can score, averaging 70 points per game, thereabouts in league play. The defensive end is where they've struggled. Temple off to a good start on their end. Cam Reynolds puts in the jumper, and the lead that was once 13 is down to 4.
Again, Cam Reynolds, he can score in post-up situations. He can score in space.
Robbins a 3. That would have given him a new career high. Fresh possession. Alston, no. Another rebound. And Robbins finds another one. Mark Williams. Temple content to launch, creating a turnover with Alston on the deck, ripping the ball away.
3 good looks, especially after offensive rebounds, which is usually when the best 3 balls happen. Why? Because the defense is stressed.
They get a reprieve with Slater intercepting that pass. Cam Reynolds looking for the Showtime finish. Got fouled on his way through. And that'll send us to immediate timeout. 4-point game. Temple with the lead over Tulane in Philly. Talk to us a little bit and just ask us how it was or something.
That was a longer break.
You know, can't have any consideration these days. Unbelievable.
Well, all of a sudden, Tulane has kind of worked their way back into this game. Just a 3-point deficit after that red-hot start by Temple.
Finally, they've sorted out their trouble at the free throw line. Kevin Nagandi would have a pick. Proud alumnus of Temple. Not by the guys in the studio. That's what I'm saying. I think they're just jealous of us.
Yeah, I think they went to the green room to get some snacks.
So the lead is down to 2.
Here's a change of defense. First time we've seen that by either team. A little 2-3 zone. Ball needs to get to either the free throw line or the short corner.
Dingle with 4 on the clock. Nice move. And gets it to bounce home. Plus the foul.
Every coach in the country wants your senior to be playing their best basketball of their career. That is exactly what Daniel Dingle is doing. The crossover, the in-traffic finish. Wonderful job by Daniel Dingle, playing by far his best basketball.
Dingle averaging close to 13 points per game in the season. One of the seniors honored today in Philadelphia. Mike Robbins wearing 22 in white. Mark Williams 10 in white, the others. And to Fran Dunphy's credit, he has let them play a bunch of minutes here today.
Nice shot by Reyes posting up. He played well in the first game against Temple. He went for 9 points and 7 rebounds, maybe his best game of the year. Guy that doesn't even average 1 point a game. He might want to play Temple 4 or 5 times next season.
Dingle met with a bit of resistance. Extra pass, and Etchionia lets it fly. Comes up empty. Damian Moore, an offensive rebound, and the freshman on senior day puts it in.
What did Fran Dunphy tell us yesterday? He's decided, the staff has decided to give Damian Moore a more detailed look. He's getting more minutes lately. Morgan, a little bit off balance, located Blake Paul, lost the handle, and Etchionia battling for the loose ball, goes shoulder to shoulder with Morgan and gets fouled. NBA Saturday Primetime presented by Verizon Wireless is tonight on ABC. D-Wade and the Bulls taking on LeBron and the Eastern Conference leading Cavaliers. Coverage tips off with NBA Countdown presented by Straight Talk Wireless. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You can stream it live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. What do you think about the DeMarcus Cousins trade?
Well, it's funny. I had to ask Mike Dunleavy about his opinion on it first, without getting into specifics, because he knows too many people in the NBA. It was interesting for him being in New Orleans at the time. That's a total cop-out on my part. It's a terrible trade. Awful trade. And Etchionia 3. But he has just struggled today. Now 1 of 7 from the field.
And these are wide open 3 balls.
Morgan going over top, unable to score, and Dingle comes away with a run out. Well, they're feeding it to him at least.
Now it's mental.
Yeah.
That was just wide right. Tulane, 335th in the country defending the 3 ball, but you've got to be able to make them.
Smith thought he got fouled. Ball lands out of play.
Well, let's see, and you've heard me talk about this all season long. Let's see if Temple will go 2 for 1 to close the half. This is kind of an ideal situation to do it, but you've got to attack in the first 10 to 12 seconds. Tulane with fouls to give.
Yeah. I've seen very few teams, Mark, use the fouls to give in that situation. More and more they're going 2 for 1, but I still think it's a little bit of a nascent phenomenon using the fouls to give. They do go 2 for 1, and Etchionia in a better and higher percentage spot to get a basket. And Mike Dunleavy Sr. calls for time.
Because they cannot improve their resume. They can only maintain. They can only play one more game in that conference tournament against St. Mary's that would even remotely resemble a resume builder.
BYU might give them a scare tonight. Mark Micah, 20 points per game for the Cougars. Nice pass. Kane Harris unable to hit. Smith looking for the offensive board. Temple has it and won't get an attempt off in time. Temple seniors, 21 of the 35 points for the Owls. Mark Williams and the walk-on Mike Robb at the half. This is a team that last year, Mark, had a lot of success in close games.
Wow, how about this? Coming out in a 3-2 zone, a different look. First possession.
They go against Ryan Smith, who has the length to score over top of it, but brings it in and out.
How about the fact Mike Robbins gets a second half start?
Yeah. Hey, why not? It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Fran Dunphy told us, if you're not helping us lose, you're staying in. Dingle a 3. Could get that one to drop.
Yeah, this is an unselfish team. I love the way Temple looks for and executes the extra pass. Wide open look for Dingle.
But, you know, it's a little bit of where they miss Josh Brown, because as good as they've been today moving the ball, as Robbins got a hand on the passing lane here, as good as Temple's been moving the ball, they have yet to really, I feel like, be that efficient over the course of the last couple months. I mean, they were top 20 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio last year. This year, barely breaking the top 60.
Well, when you take a Josh Brown, as now we traded 3 balls, when you take a Josh Brown out of your lineup, you're taking a guy that last year alone had 161 assists and 46 turnovers. That was among the leaders and the leaders in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio.
I mean, forget DeCozy and Bond and Coleman, the seniors from last year's team. I actually thought Josh Brown was the MVP of that team last year that won the regular season title.
Yeah, he would be on my all-under-the-radar team, a glue guy.
Brown has been out all season long. Now, he played a couple games we mentioned in the fall. They thought they were going to have him back, but as Fran Dunphy told us earlier today, just it was too painful for him to play with any regularity, so they decided to shut him down for the year. It's left a bit of a void for Temple, and they perhaps are missing a glue guy like that. 5-11 on the season in conference play. Turnover. Melvin Frazier got a hand in, caused the takeaway, and gets fouled on his drive. And Etchionia with the foul.
Temple tries to establish an Etchionia in a post-up situation, but here's the rule of thumb. If you're going to dribble, go somewhere. Notice Etchionia basically wastes his dribble and then gives the ball up in transition, compounds that by fouling, getting back on defense.
And don't forget, Tulane forces a fair amount of turnovers. They force about 15 per game. Obambo, 3. Reigning American Conference Rookie of the Week. Splashes in the 3-ball.
In the first half, I talked about Dingle drifting, moving without the ball. That time, Onayembo did.
Turnover on the baseline from Mark Williams.
Yeah, these are just poor decisions with the basketball.
9 of them for Temple now. Robbins got a hand in and caused the turnover. I'll tell you what, Mike Robbins, what a day he's having. Because sometimes on these senior day events, you have a walk-on in there, and it's a token of appreciation to start someone. But he's made a major contribution. We mentioned he's an accomplished painter in his spare time. His dorm room is covered with artist supplies, uses basketball shoes as little wells for the brushes that he has.
But he's painting a pretty good hoops picture today.
Yeah, he is. Williams off from 3. Frazier the board for Tulane. Keep in mind, still a 4-point game. Smith got stripped by Anichionia, got it back, and put it in. +1.
Nice job by Ryan Smith, who just had a lot of stick-to-itiveness. Notice he went and sought the ball fake, got blocked from behind, gathers Anichionia in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He has as many offensive rebounds as he does defensive this year. They've tried bit by bit this season to improve his conditioning. He's gotten better as the year has gone along.
Watch as Temple now tries to spread the floor. They want to see if Tulane can guard one-on-one.
3 from the wing. Short from Alston. Rebound taken by Malik Morgan. I wonder if the pace suits Mike Dunleavy's senior just fine. Morgan streaking into the front court and then peeling back. And Reynolds going over top of Dingle, misfires.
Step back with way too much pressure.
And the reason why I ask that, Mark, is this Tulane team thrives when the pace is frantic. Reynolds got a hand on that. It'll stay with Temple. 2-point game. Tulane trailed by as much as 30. It's a playoff type thing. You play on home courts. You finish up with the highest remaining seed. You get to rush the court at the end of it. NEC, America East, all those love it.
That's way too easy on the out under.
Alston, the easy bucket. Guy who's been a steady scorer for Temple this season, averaging 14 points per game. Travel here from Frazier, but Alston, it should be noted, on pace to become only the second sophomore in Temple history to lead the team in points, assists, and steals.
A little wraparound on the out under. Out of the timeout. That's a call by Fran Dunphy and the staff, and that got an easy look for Alston.
And Alston, a guy who only averaged about 10 minutes per game last year. This year, 38 per game in conference play. Dingle, no. That's his own miss. Third try.
Oh, love it.
Mark Williams, the last touch.
You could hear the players grunting, trying to get that offensive rebound. Offensive rebounding so many times is just about effort and want to.
For a team that's bottom 300 in the country in rebound margin, they've been better today. Out rebounding Tulane by 3. Foul up high with Dingle on the drive.
Well, if you have trouble knocking down shots, why not go to the offensive glass more than once? And finally, the ball bounces the right way for Mark Williams and Temple on that second chance opportunity. Good to see. I'm sure Fran Dunphy, even though he likes that offensively, I think that concerned look on his face is about his team's defense. He talked to us yesterday about the concerns after halftime that his team seems to lose focus on the defensive end.
Fran Dunphy has seen a lot of basketball in his time. Mr. Big Five. We were touring the Palestra yesterday, Mark. We did a little field trip. You had never been, which is shocking to me.
Off my bucket list. Never coached there, never scouted there, never broadcast there.
His name will be in the Big Five Hall of Fame as soon as he's done coaching.
No doubt. I had such a fun trip down memory lane, just walking around the building, seeing all the former players, coaches, the history of the Big Five.
Fran, remember, played at LaSalle. Mike Dunleavy Sr. a long while ago in South Carolina.
Wow, look at the hair for both those guys.
Oh, yeah. Why'd you have to bring that up? As you know, coaches, they rewatch our games, Mark, and we know because they ask us about certain things. I don't know if they're going to appreciate that comment.
Let's hope they had the sound down when they replay this. There's Fran Duffy. I had the pleasure of doing his game last year when he became the all-time winningest coach in Big Five history. I told him yesterday it was a highlight of my year.
And as Gionia 3, he continues his struggles from outside. Now 0 of 6. Frazier knocked down Williams to get to the rack.
How about that angle that Frazier took to avoid the charge?
Dingle, kick out. 3 off the mark from Mark Williams in Temple, which began the day fairly strong from 3. Now just 1 of 7. Tulane continues to be able to score at will. They are within 1. They have yet to lead today.
Really seem to be taking a path to pushing the ball in transition.
You mentioned defense, Mark. Fran Dunphy not happy with it.
The players are. It just delivers.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time. I know that sometimes there's criticism. Oh, you're hyping UNC and Duke again. Well, guys, it's always a great game.
Right.
A little bit of a mishap on the inbounds pass. Another quick timeout is called.
This is unfortunate. They had called for a sideline play offense. So first and foremost, Temple needs to do a better job in transition D.
A couple weeks ago, I talked with Mike about it, and he said, you know, when they started, they were actually using NBA-type shot clock, because this is an and one for Quentin Rose, but to just try to get everyone up to snuff on the tempo.
The key to this last play by Rose is watch, Alex, how he goes off 2 feet. So many times guards want to get into the paint and try to go off 1 foot. He has better balance. He's able to absorb the contact for the and one opportunity.
Rose has been a nice addition in terms of playing time for Temple. Remember, his first start in league play was that win they had against Memphis, which a lot of folks around this program at the time thought would be a turning point. And they were battling 5th, 6th. As Cam Reynolds splashes in another 3, Tulane within 1 yet again. But this Temple team, remember, was middle of the pack in the American. And the thought was that, man, they're right at that turning point. If they could just kind of build some momentum. They've been unable to do that.
That last possession, defensive breakdown in the zone. Who's the one guy you have to know where he is at all times? It would be the other team's leading scorer.
Yeah, Reynolds in double figures now for the 14th straight game. 17 points for Cam Reynolds. Frazier off the mark. He gets his own miss. Alston nearly forced the turnover. Ona Embo rejected by Damian Moore. Temple on the run out. Dingle up top. Unable to connect on the return pass for Quentin Rose, and a turnover for the Owls.
Again, after the block on one end, if you're in a 1-point game in the second half, you can't make this high risk of a play. I always said, and you've heard me say this all season long, I think the worst turnovers come after you've just gotten a turnover.
Frazier 3. No. Smith looking for the offensive board. Reynolds has it, and Tulane has their first lead of the ballgame. 47-46 with just under 12 minutes to go.
Ryan Smith did not get the putback, but he kept that play alive.
And Echionia open in the corner, but his shot has not fallen today, and a dead ball results in a stoppage. Tulane has a couple years. I got to tell you, I don't think there's a team that has as sharp a sense of what to do in the right moment.
Of who they are.
Right, yes, and of who they are. Right. SMU.
I'm not going to argue that. Do you think SMU and Cincinnati are going to end up tied atop this conference? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're going to give it to both.
Can you?
We're going to give it to to both. Absolutely.
That's a cop-out. No. You can't. You have to pick one. I know the voters, you can tie and you can give it to Morgan, but...
Well, they've both done great jobs. How about that?
Yes. I think that's beyond argument. Cincinnati's transformed themselves from a defensive juggernaut into a team that can beat you multiple ways, and SMU is just SMU. They're just, every year, somehow, with a short rotation, able to do it. Malik Morgan, 2 in the shot clock, releases, and comes up empty.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of the shot clock dictating the quality of shot.
Temple started the game on a 17-4 run. They led by 7 at the half. But Tulane on a 10-3 run until Anecchionia ends his drought from 3. His first try of the night in 7 tries.
What do all great shooters have in common? A great dose of amnesia. You just can't, you have to forget what has happened previous in the game. You have to have the mentality that the next shot I'm going to make.
Malik Morgan on the step back from the free throw line. Temple leading by 2. Quentin Rose coughed it up. Ryan Smith tried to knock it forward. Scrum for the loose ball. And they jump it up. Mark, you were in. You walked over the last media timeout. You overheard the huddle from Fran Dunphy and company. What did you hear from him?
Well, no big surprise. It was all on the defensive end. It was specific about Cam Reynolds, whether they were in zone or man. One of the assistant coaches chimed in and said, hey, he's the only guy making shots. We've got to know where he is at all times. So defensive communication was being discussed in that timeout.
See if it changes things. Offensively, they've been far more efficient the last couple possessions. Mark Williams with the jumper from the short corner. 13 points now, and Williams just 2 points shy of equaling a career high. Timeout for Mike Dunleavy Sr. Temple out. I'm all here. I got to hold you to this, though.
Kansas will win the Big 12.
That's not much of a bold prediction.
Well, I don't care. It's in February of 17.
Ryan Smith, the hook shot, no. And Malik Morgan unable to secure the rebound.
I'm wondering if Tulane might be entering one of those defensive droughts.
They got lucky. Shiz Alston usually finishes that at the rim. Reynolds should have been called for a foul in transition. Instead, it's a turnover for Tulane on the baseline. They're 10th. I thought Cam Reynolds got fouled.
He got trucked. No question about it on the pass. Surprised everybody.
Talk about a bounce not going your way. What had been a pretty good looking fast break or play in transition for Tulane results in a turnover. Great ball movement. Rose too strong. Dingle battling for the board. It lands to Onaimbo.
Great battle between seniors that time, Dingle and Morgan. Tulane, according to Mike Dunleavy, has just had some offensive lapses in a 5 or 6 minute spurt of each game, and they're not good enough defensively to overcome them.
Frazier too strong on the 3. Rebound for Temple. Alston comes down with it. Remember, this team led SMU by 15 at the half. And that's Anecchionia +1. Strong take.
Play.
I'll say it again. Kudos to all the folks in ESPN Graphics for putting that on our scorebook so you can keep track at home. Makes it a lot easier sorting out at home late game situations. Who can foul, who has fouls to give. But now 8 minutes to go in Philadelphia. Temple has yet to close out a game over the last 2.5 weeks.
If there's a third nominee for Coach of the Year, it's probably Johnny Dawkins. Now, Taco and the Knights, they're hard to score against. They have used their length as their strength all season long.
The one thing maybe holding them back, that they had a bad run middle of this season. And granted, it was against the top teams in the league, but they couldn't find a way.
Yeah, lost 4 in a row, but have since rebounded. including the road win here on Wednesday night, where they trailed for about 37.5 minutes in that game.
But I think that both of us agree that the accomplishment of getting that first round bye, finishing the top 5, is a real strong one for a UCF team that, don't forget, is just emerging from NCAA sanctions from a couple years ago. Wow. Slater drains a 3 off the curl, and Tulane is within 1 possession once again.
Just 25% on the year, but he did knock down a couple of 3 balls midweek against East Carolina. Pick and pop for Anecchionia.
Pop turns into a drive, but that got altered cleanly by Tulane. Here they are on the break. Look out, Slater off the mark, and Dingle boxes out, skying in for the board.
But that's that early offense, quality look.
Curtis DeFlackpey returning for Temple.
I just see so many passes in this game get deflected or bad decisions. How about fake a pass to make a pass?
Austin off the drive. Comes up empty. Foul underneath. The Flackpete grabbed the offensive rebound. That's their 10th of the day for for Temple.
I love the hesitation by Alston to get to the rim.
So Flackpete goes to the bench, and Mark Williams, who has had a phenomenal senior day, 13 points, just 2 shy of a career high, returns. I should say that's a season high, not a career high for Mark Williams. Rose, too strong, and Reynolds the board.
Better job getting all the white jerseys back.
Ooh, up and under move from Harris wouldn't go. And he needs some help on the floor, getting the timeout called. Mike Dunleavy asked, and one of his players obliged. Houston in that quarterfinal round to get to the semis.
I'll tell you, speaking of Houston, another guy on my all under the radar team, Damian Dotson.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way too easy. What a recovery by Anecchionia, though. Damian Dotson is asked to do so much for that Houston.
Well, the 73 points they put up earlier this week sounds kind of ho-hum in the grand scheme of things, but that was against the league's top defense. They know how to score against a pretty decent defensive team. That, at least for me entering the day, that seemed like a big, big challenge for Temple, which has not been a great defensive team, especially in the second half of games.
Now, both teams have traded what I think are bad timeouts, saving a possession with way too much time. Both coaches now down to just 1 timeout.
Mark Williams a 3. Would have been for a season high. Cam Reynolds pulls down the board. Tulane's leading scorer sets up Kane Harris. The sophomore misfires from 3. Morgan chases down the board and lays it in to put Tulane back ahead for just the 2nd time this afternoon.
Again, second chance opportunities. Part of your defense is getting on the glass and being one and done in the rebound battle.
Dingle crosses over on Morgan. Tough finish to get Temple the lead.
I was about to say, down the last 5 minutes of the game, who's willing to take big shots? Who's willing to make big shots?
He's nearly picked off by Williams. Cam Reynolds going up against 2 trees and draws a foul.
Well, we've talked about Dingle and his versatility. Off the bounce, crossover, takes the contact, gets the kind roll. Daniel Dingle, more than 12 points a game this season. Last year, he only averaged 4.5 points a game. So it's good to see a senior, a redshirt senior, playing his best hoops in his last campaign.
And amidst the waving big heads of the Cherry Crusade, Cam Reynolds sticks the first free throw. Now up to 20 points. Against that in that game they played against SMU about a week and a half ago, he had 23 to lead Tulane that day, including 5 from deep. And don't forget, the last time he played Temple, he had a career-high 29 points. Tulane regains the lead, 4 minutes, 52 seconds to go. Tulane, a team that has not beaten an opponent in league play other than USF. They've swept this season. This would be a big momentum builder. We talk about momentum for Temple. Big momentum builder for Tulane if they were to pull this out. Spoil the festivities on Senior Day in Philly.
Team foul number 6. Temple will be in the bonus from this point forward.
Williams too strong from 3. Cam Reynolds pulls down the board. Let's see how this bunch composes themselves in the half court. Much as we've talked about Temple and their troubles late in games, Slater got hit on the 3. He'll head to the line.
Just an ill-advised challenge by Williams. You've got to allow the shooter to come down in the same cylinder, to the same space that he took off in. That's a good call. Williams just too aggressive. Take another look. Slater going straight up and down, and Williams runs into him, knocks him down. That's an easy call made by Bill Jacobson.
To finish the point on Tulane, much as we talk about Temple and their late game struggles, this team had a serious chance to knock off SMU on the road in Dallas. Led most of the game by double figures into the second half, and with about 10 minutes to go, things fell off the tracks.
A lot of things fall off the tracks when you're trying to play SMU with that Moody magic.
True.
Slater, 78% on the year at the free throw line.
And this to put Tulane up by 2 possessions for the first time today. Four-point game, largest lead for the Green Wave.
Temple with only 22 points here in the second half.
Remember, they led by 7 at the break. Dingle got away from trouble. Extra pass, Alston thought about the 3. Another extra pass leaves Dingle alone from deep. And a scrap for the rebound results in Tulane ball. Under 4 minutes to go in Philadelphia. The Green Wave.
He turned that team around after starting the Big 12 season 0-6. Hey, don't forget about the 4 o'clock game. Mississippi State at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's won 3 in a row to get to 15 and 13. They're now in the conversation on the bubble. Here's why this is important. How do they close the season next week? They play at Kentucky and host Florida.
Sure. Well, that calamity before we went to break, a foul was called, and remember, since Tulane is in the bonus, that sent them to the line. They've now hit 11 straight free throws. They're on a 14-4 run and at their largest lead of the afternoon.
See, this is a problem because really Temple doesn't have players that can draw fouls.
They're more of a jump shooting team. And Encionia rises and fires. And that is a welcome sight. Just his second tray of the afternoon. 12 points now for Encionia, one of 4 Owls in double figures.
Great find by Dingle. Well, can Temple get a stop at a key time?
Entry pass, Ryan Smith found the outside man, and Melvin Frazier going for the big-time finish over top gets fouled.
Wow. Take another look. Melvin Frazier with an explosive first step and then got up on his trampoline. Annaccione with the hard foul, clean foul. Make Frazier score at the free throw line.
Given where he took off, I was a bit shocked he was going up for the dunk.
That was explosive.
Oh, boy. Well, I go back to something Mike Dunleavy told me as that free throw streak comes to an end at 11. I go back to something he told me at the beginning of the year. He said Frazier, without a doubt, was the best athlete on the team. That's why. Didn't see much playing time last year, but he's thriving now.
That was a quick first step, wasn't it? Off the catch.
Some pressure from Tulane, but of the token variety. Oh, Slater, he read the passing lane. He was waiting, took off like a sprinter, but couldn't quite corral.
Half a step behind on the simple pass. Temple has cut down on their first half from their first half turnovers. And just as I say that, Rose fumbles the dribble and then compounds the problem with fouling and will put Frazier back to the free throw line. Watch as Rose just dribbles this out of his hands. He's trying to go between two green-shirted defenders. There's just no room there. Mike Dunleavy feeling like, hey, we might be able to get one on the road here.
Tulane has attempted, Mark, 20 more free throws than Temple does. Now, granted, Temple, as you mentioned, a team that doesn't drive and draw fouls, but that's still a gaudy number.
On average, opponents score 5 more points per game than does Temple.
The Green Wave in the double bonus the rest of the way. 2.5 to go. And Temple on a 3-game skid to begin the afternoon. Now in serious trouble, down by 5. Offensive foul on the moving screen of Flackpy coming off the bench. And it results in another turnover.
Sometimes it's the big guy, and other times it's the guard.
Most of this period, 7.5 minutes to go, they were leading by 6.
And one of the things Fran Dunphy has to fight with his team right now is the here we go again syndrome.
Yeah. I don't get that feeling. Reynolds gets blocked here. But we'll see what Temple does with this. Wide open, and that's Gionia unable to convert. Williams with the offensive board and the foul.
Just a poor job by Tulane getting back in transition. First for the open 3 by Annaccione. Nobody within 5 feet of him. Then Williams on the offensive glass to tip the ball, keep it alive, and then gather and finish. And he goes to the line for the and one opportunity.
Now a season-high 15 points for Mark Williams, the senior from Cleveland. Makes it 16 at the stripe, and the Owls are within 2.
Well, can Temple get to 70 points? We know that's a magical number.
Yeah, 13-1 this year when scoring 70 or more. But they just want some way. It doesn't matter if they get to 70 or not. Some way, somehow, to come out of a game strong. Both these teams feeling that way. Nice dump off late. But Smith was unable to hit. It goes back to Tulane in a bit of good fortune. Malik Morgan with a late drop-off pass to Smith.
Pretty good look offensively.
Senior in his first season at Tulane. It's been a slow build, a real transformation of this team from a plodding pace last year to an up-tempo, frenetic NBA-style offense. Morgan drops it off. Smith couldn't hit point blank. They get a second crack at it. Morgan, the offensive rebound. And he is fouled. No, 3 seconds. You know, I thought when that hand was coming in to reach in to grab the ball, that would have been called. But they get called for 3 seconds. Ryan Smith, the guilty party.
Textbook pick and roll. Great pocket pass by Morgan. Smith unable to get the easy deuce. I was just about to say, Tulane doesn't need to milk clock here. Be aggressive. One possession game. And they were.
Alston to the corner, wide open. Quentin Rose couldn't hit. And how big is that rebound for Tulane?
Well, now here is a big question. Would you dare go 2 for 1 up 2 points?
Are you looking for an answer on that, Mark?
No, they're not going to. They got what they wanted. Isolation with your best player.
Smith, 2 straight misses. Late pass looking inside for Melvin Frazier. And some confusion on the baseline where this should go. They point towards Tulane with 2 on the shot clock.
I'm pretty sure they should go look at this as well.
Absolutely.
To make sure. Bodies around.
I agree, Mark. I mean, use replay if you have it. 2 on the shot clock. Only 1 timeout left for Dunleavy. He doesn't take it, and Reynolds has that shot from the corner blocked, resulting in a 30-second violation. Temple can hold for the final shot.
Well, if you're Temple now, Alex, you don't want to settle. You want to go quickly. I want to be aggressive-minded. Tulane with 16 fouls, so you're going to get to the bonus. I'd like to spread the floor and let Alston make the right read.
Temple led by 6 at the half against UConn on Sunday. Couldn't pull it out. They led by 9 at the half against UCF on Wednesday. Couldn't do it. Alston the drive. Comes up short. Gets his own miss. And gives Temple to tie the game with 8 seconds to go. Ona Ambo calls the final timeouts for Tulane.
Reynolds, I'm getting out of his way. I'm going to let him make the play.
Reynolds with 21 points to lead Tulane. Morgan looking for a target. There's Reynolds. 5 on the clock. Reynolds had it stripped. Temple comes away with it. Alston for the win. No! He won.
He really felt like Cam Reynolds got fouled on that last drive.
I think he has an argument.
Extra. Bonus hoops, if you will. We've got nothing else to do. Come on, what a great start to our day.
Morgan gets it inside to Ryan Smith. There was a foul.
Tulane has been very consistent. They have tried to play their offense through post-ups all afternoon long. Part of the game plan. They felt like they had an advantage in terms of block-to-block presentations. Well, you've heard me say this too. There's 2 sets of free throw stats. What you shoot overall and what you shoot in the last 2 or 3 minutes of a game or overtime.
Smith splits the pair, gives Tulane the lead. If you're looking for Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, that'll be starting on ESPN News shortly. So get that program guide ready. ESPN News in a couple of minutes. 2:05 tip. Alston at the game-tying layup in regulation. Off the hot step, another deflected pass. You noted how good Tulane has been at getting hands in passing lanes.
A multitude of deflections and turnovers and steals. They've been active on the defensive end. And the good news for both coaches, you get an extra timeout in the overtime period.
Nice crossover. Dingle look for the late dump off pass, but it goes awry, and a turnover from Temple.
Yeah, that pass had too many miles per hour on it. That was a bullet pass. Tough to handle.
13 turnovers now for Temple. Haven't seen much of him today. Quietly, 9 points, 6 of them from the free throw line. Morgan got caught in a bad spot. Melvin Frazier, 2 on the timer. Never saw it. Shot clock violation for Tulane. I thought that late pass, Frazier was in a decent spot to shoot it, but never saw the timer.
No excuse there. You're playing offense on your end of the floor. Everybody on the bench should be screaming, shoot it. This is what happens, though, when teams don't have a lot of confidence, Alex, in close games. They start milking every possession, trying to get the perfect shot. You just need a good shot. Maintain some aggression.
Mark Williams with the runner.
Early offense.
18 points for the senior on senior day. Malik Morgan now running point. Picks it up by Smith. Popped around it. Frazier baseline. Double team. Got out of it. Under 10 to shoot. Morgan a three. No. And Quentin Rose the rebound.
Now there Temple gets their stop because they were aggressive on the defensive end. I'd like to see them be aggressive on the offensive end now.
Under 3 minutes to go in overtime. Williams weaving through the paint. What a day. 20 points.
Temple trying to get to that 70 mark we talked about. Tulane has gone 3 or 4 possessions without Reynolds touching the ball.
Reynolds their best scorer. Frazier off the glass. Wouldn't go. Smith the tap. Falls off the rim. And it goes back to the Owls.
This is where everybody on Tulane's team has to have awareness in the game. And you have to understand that your best player has not touched the ball lately. Go back to the Williams tough finish. The one-handed floater in the lane. Mark Williams on senior day then converted with the left-handed off the window.
Alston tied in the regulation. Would have put Temple up by 2 possessions.
Both of these teams are better in early offense.
It's a bit surprising, isn't it, to see Tulane peel back on a team that prides itself on transition play. Frazier baseline. No. Another tip results in the putback.
Everybody has to get on the glass. That time, Malik Morgan. I think he was the only guy that jumped on that rebound opportunity.
Tulane within 1. 3 off the mark from Dingle. Rebound secured by the Green Wave. Melvin Frazier on the run-out. Cam Reynolds has not scored a bucket. He has 2 free throws, but he hasn't put in a field goal in the last 12-plus minutes.
I don't know the last time he took a shot.
Yeah. Remember, he had that late one blocked where the Tulane bench was clamoring for a foul. But now, with a minute to go, a 1-point lead for Temple. Again, they slowly bring it across midcourt.
Maintain your aggression.
Alston with 6 on the clock. Working on Onaembo. Steps back. No. And a rebound for Samus Reyes. Rare touch for the sophomore.
About a 5-second differential. Mike Dunleavy takes his timeout. Slater missed the 3, the tying 3 against East Carolina midweek.
Morgan and Reynolds, the 2 seniors on the floor for Tulane.
Wow, how
Do you like this strategy?
No, I want to attack.
Let the differential wind down. 5-second gap between the shot and the game clock. Morgan knocked down his man, and Reynolds slipped on the floor. Scramble for the loose ball, picked up by Temple. Wow.
We talked about Temple not catching a break.
4 of 8 from the field. Alston has yet to attempt the free throw today.
If he misses it, plenty of time to drive it.
But no matter what, it will stay a 1-possession game. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, airing on ESPN News right now. That'll be coming up as soon as we're done here in Philadelphia. timeout, Fran Dunphy.
Down toward your goal.
Slater, one of the more diminutive guys on the floor, gets it in. 3 seconds left. Malik Morgan for the tie. Got it! The road. Spoil another team's senior day and get a victory. Away we go for another period. Rose and Daniel Dingle, the rookie and the senior. Nice pass. There's Rose. Mark Williams with a helper.
Great movement again without the basketball.
Rose has been relatively quiet today. Just 5 points for the freshman. Averaging 10 per game. Someone who's been in the discussion for Rookie of the Year at times this year. Rose pulls down a rebound off the miss from Malik Morgan. Temple tied it late in regulation that sent us to overtime. And a three for Austin. Extends the Temple lead to 2 possessions.
I can't tell you how much I like that concept of early offense. In a situation where most people think, well, players are tired. Let's see what we can milk a little clock.
And a block at the rim results in a takeaway. Now do you slow here up by 5?
No, but I'm willing. I'm not going to settle. I want to drive. I want to get something at the rim.
3.5 to go in double OT. Temple has hit 10 3-pointers this afternoon. Most recently coming from Rose. Nice late pass, and Echiona with the flush. And a timeout for Mike Dunleavy Sr. Point deficit now. They're still cleaning up some wet spots on the floor. I imagine that is partly due to being a ridiculously humid and warm day. But
don't you know, a lot of players in this game are starting to log a lot of minutes.
Onaembo looking for a double-figure day himself. Unable to hit. Under 3 minutes to go in double OT. Temple trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, including a couple of heartbreakers here at home. Dingle forced that one with some contact. No foul given, and Tulane comes away with the loose ball. Morgan off the nice screen set. Euro step through the paint and draws contact.
They've had some success with this high ball screen by Ryan Smith. Cam Reynolds comes up gimpy, headed toward his head coach.
I doubt at this point they're going to have to. At this point, they're going to take their best player out.
I don't think Mike Dunleavy has looked down the bench yet. What a job by Mark Williams today.
Well, Mark Williams has just found out. They sub senior for senior, but what an incredible senior day. Had a season high 15 a couple weeks ago against East Carolina. Blew that one away with 20.6 rebounds today. Sits in favor of Mike Robbins, the former walk-on, who started the day, remember, Mark, with a couple of pretty set plays to get him engaged. But in a critical situation here, double overtime, gets another crack at it on the floor. Temple with the rebound. Off the free throw miss, just 1 of 2 for Tulane at the line in a 6-point game.
Just make sure that the shot clock doesn't dictate your quality of shot now.
Much would Robbins love to be a part of this. Austin leading against the grain, unable to finish.
Got exactly what they wanted.
Look out, Reynolds in transition. And the long rebound bounces up in the air over top of Onaembo and secured by Rose.
I'm going to play aggressive. One more possession, Alex. Still too many possessions to go in this game.
Rose steps in. Comes up short.
Again, it's a good look.
Frazier a three. He's short. And Alston baseline grabs the board.
That's a settled shot.
I'm just saying that.
Well, it's in transition. Why not drive the ball to the rim? Melvin Frazier, 30% on the year from beyond the arc. I want him being aggressive-minded. Take another look in transition. There's a defender right there. It's a challenged look. Yes, it's in rhythm, but as a 30% shooter, I think he's better suited to drive the ball to the rim.
Alston hits his third free throw of the day, converting on the front end of the 1-and-1.
We're in that part of the game, Alex, where Tulane's response might be dictated by what Temple does at the line. So if he makes two, they probably need a three. You've got to start eliminating possessions that you're behind.
Temple leading by 8. Reynolds a three. Way off the mark. Robbins the rebound.
How about the block out? Mike Robbins. Now I'm milking clock.
Third rebound of the day for Mike Robbins is certainly the biggest one. Foul is called. 1 minute to go, and Temple back at the line.
Fundamental block out. Make contact, keep the guy on your back, seek, and go get the basketball. Weak side rebounding by Mike Robbins.
How steady as Shiz Alston beats and been today for Temple. Their workhorse all season long, leads the team in minutes played. Last 14 games has averaged close to 39 minutes per game.
Is this what we have to look forward to with March coming next week? The American Conference Tournament coming in 2 weeks.
You saw the buzzer beaters in that Champ Week promo as Morgan comes in for the two. Trimming the lead back down to 8. Temple able to escape here. Tulane, you'd think, has to foul. I guess they're going for the steal here on Alston, but more time melts off the clock. 45 ticks now remaining, and Alston will head back to the line.
Well, Tulane just cannot afford to trade twos now. So again, their response offensively is going to be dictated by what Alston does at the free throw line.
And it's 2 shots for Alston here. How good would this feel momentum-wise for Temple? Reeling after those 2 late losses earlier this week.
Gut-wrenching home losses.
And this was headed towards a similar fate until Alston's late layup. Tulane now down by 10. Onayembo lost his dribble, and that might just about do it. Foul was called. Frazier bumping up against Alston, but 2 free throws here should just about do it.
Tulane had last possession in regulation. Didn't convert. They did convert on the 3-point shot by Morgan at the end of the first overtime. So momentum has worn both the white jerseys and the green jerseys today.
But how close, again, for Tulane? You get the sense at some point, and maybe it won't be until next year, but you get the sense at some point this team is too talented offensively to keep dropping these games. Maybe that'll come in the American tournament in a couple weeks, just as they did last year. Temple by 12. Harris scoops it in, but with under 30 seconds to go, Alston able to find Robbins. Temple across midcourt. Tulane backs off. And Mike Robbins calls a 30-second timeout in front of his bench.
Called by
some of the other players of this team, including Alston, have shined. All a large part of it. Late foul here. Quentin Rose will be sent to the line. And this is now a 10-point game with 15 seconds to go. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. If you're looking for that game, it's on ESPN News.
I talked about this in regulation toward the end. You could sense that Temple's players, their body language had that, oh, look, here we go again. That's why this win, I think, is really important for Fran Dunphy, who gets Daniel Dingle out of the game.
And his other senior, the walk-on Mike Robbins.
But who knows? If you can gather a little confidence headed to the American Conference Tournament.
Never know. Malik Morgan misses from 3. Rebound chased down by Melvin Frazier. Kane Harris fires. Tulane gave it a good look. Sent this game to double overtime. But Temple finally breaks up what had been a rough stretch of play. 3 straight losses.